But Gene Simmons, lead singer of Kiss, knew Aretha, knew her well. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us, and I'm so sorry for the news that we're talking about today. What did Aretha mean to you?
I'm an odd choice to be on here. I know it may strike people as sort of bizarre, but I loved Aretha like tens of millions of people. Sorry, getting a little choked up. My first sort of image of Aretha is when I was a little kid. I came to America from Israel, and I turned on a television set, and there was a New York disc jockey named Murray the K. And he said, all right, here she is, Aretha Franklin. And this young, sort of with her back straight up, came up and looked at the TV set and started singing R-E-S-P-E-C-T. I just want a little respect. And I wasn't just stunned by the lyrics. I never heard women talk like that. I go, what? Give me some respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. And then the voice, it just, I never heard anybody like that. I never heard church music, Baptist music. I was just being introduced to rock and roll, and I was flabbergasted. I just never, and I kept listening, and the depth of her songs, Think, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, and so on and so forth. And in the early 80s, when I was going out with Diana Ross, I suggested to Diana, why don't you do a duet with Aretha? And we're in her apartment in New York City, and instead of going through managers and all that, I just picked up the phone and was expecting to get brushed off by managers and the rest. Aretha got on the phone right away, and I said, you know, that sort of stuttering thing, because you're in the presence of greatness. How about a duet with Diana Ross? She's got, sure, that'd be a great idea. I was stunned by her graciousness, the lack of sort of the ego, full of it kind of thing, her kindness. And, you know, along the way, I learned more and more about how Aretha, of course, her father was a Baptist minister. She came out of Detroit. And when Diana took me back to Detroit to visit Motown and all that, we went through the neighborhoods. And I never knew this world. I didn't understand it. But Aretha didn't just stay in Detroit. She went down to the South and recorded with the Muscle Shoals, the classic Muscle Shoals rhythm section, and Jerry Wexler, and she started listening to all kinds of, you know, different music. The Stones loved her, for God's sake. She did Jumping Jack Flash by them and killed it. She did Eleanor Rigby, I'm Eleanor Rigby, by the Beatles, and so on. You know, it's important. Here's a lesson for all of us. First of all, it's the saddest day. I love Aretha and always will, but all those little girls out there who are watching America's Got Talent and stuff, it's like, shut up, get over yourself, sit down and listen to this music, because the new pop princesses have to understand that greatness once existed, and her name was Aretha Franklin.
And you got to find it in you already. It's not something necessarily that you, because I mean, I think I read that she was recording since she was 14 years old. I mean, this was a woman who was gifted. And I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned that duet. One, whatever happened to that duet? And two, I understand you have a favorite song you like to dance to that is from Aretha.
I don't know why it didn't happen. You know, there are managers and record labels, and when you record for different labels, anything's possible. But I'll tell you a story that I think bears witness to the greatness and the impact of Aretha Franklin. I was a high school kid, and I'm walking down the hallways, and we're all being self-aware of each other and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, I was aware of female empowerment. I never saw the girls in the school acting this way. They're walking tall, they're doing that stuff. And as they're walking past the guys from one each other, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, I want some respect. I mean, the music and the lyrics went all the way down across all generations, all creeds, all colors. Immediately, it became a female empowerment song, and the lyrics were a civil rights anthem. I mean, it's unequaled by anybody.
Mm-hmm, no doubt about it. People have said, when they talk about her being gifted, that she interpreted the lyrics in a way that nobody else did, and that was part of the magic of Aretha Franklin, that the music was her language.
But she approached it from a very deep way. There are a lot of pop princesses that come out of American Idol and all the rest of that who have no idea what the word roots means. She grew up with music as part of her soul, and I don't mean just the queen of soul. And so when Jerry Wexler and the Muscle Shoals rhythm section met her in Atlanta, they were shocked to find her sit down on the piano and start playing the chords that she heard, and going through gospel music that moved her. And therein, when she started doing secular music, she never left her gospel roots, and she never left Detroit, it's worth saying. She traveled the world, became a superstar, always went back home to Detroit. I mean,
Gene, you are a superstar in your own right, really. I mean, you are. Is there ever a moment where you look back now and think, gosh, I wish I could have done something with her. I wish I could have collaborated with her on a song?
Oh, I couldn't, I wouldn't even dare dream anything like that. But it bears noting that she duetted with George Michael and worked with all sorts of great people from all walks of life and in all. She didn't have musical barriers, She came from church, then started doing secular music. You would have been lucky to live on planet Earth and be in the presence of Aretha Franklin and hear that voice. She sang Nessun Dorma on the Grammys when Pavarotti couldn't make it and brought the house down. There's probably tape of that, and you should probably run it. I mean, I remember watching that and just going, Pavarotti, who?
Oh, well, Gene, thank you for stopping by and helping us understand her in a way that we otherwise never would have known. And we appreciate it so much. Go ahead. You want to say one last thing?
One last thing. All the little girls out there who are trying to get female empowerment and all that, God bless you. Sit down, start listening to Aretha. You'll understand what that means.
We certainly do, no doubt about it. Gene Simmons, thank you so much for taking the time for us. And certainly our thoughts and prayers going out to you and everybody that knew her and loved her today.